Good morning, beloved child of God. Before the day unfolds, before the phone rings, before the world makes its demands, heaven has already opened its arms. There is a holy invitation waiting for you in this quiet moment. An invitation to place your entire day into the hands of the one who already stands at the end of it. The Lord, your keeper, your defender, your Father, is not distant. He is near, ready to walk with you through every breath, every step, every thought that will shape this day. You were never meant to carry the weight of a single morning alone. From the moment your eyes opened, the Spirit of God hovered close, whispering, "Let me go before you." There is no detail too small for His care, no errand too ordinary for His blessing, no moment too fleeting for His protection. This is not just a morning like any other. This is a divine appointment. David understood this. He rose early, seeking God's face before he faced the world. "In the morning, O Lord, you hear my voice," he wrote in Psalm 5:3. That same God hears your voice now. He leans close with affection, not because you've earned it, but because you're His. Beloved, what would happen if you truly gave this day to God? Not just in theory, not just in words, but in surrender, complete, vulnerable, trusting surrender. What would change if every decision, every interaction, every challenge was first laid at the feet of the Almighty? The peace you've longed for is not found in control, it's found in trust. You don't have to know how today will unfold. You only have to know who goes with you. The God who calmed the storm, who walked through fire with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who sent angels to shut the mouths of lions for Daniel. That same God goes before you now. His strength is not seasonal. His love is not circumstantial. His protection is not limited. So before the rush begins, pause here, lift your heart, breathe in the quiet truth that you are not alone, you are not exposed, you are not unprepared. Heaven is already surrounding you. This is the sacred act that shifts everything to begin your day in surrender. Not with anxiety, not with self-reliance, not with hurry, but with hands lifted and heart bowed. Say it aloud. Lord, I give you my day. I give you my worries, my calendar, my family, my plans. I give you what I cannot control and what I desperately wish I could. I give you every unknown, every detail, every fear, every dream. You feel overwhelmed already, or maybe numb, but God is asking for your day. Not just your prayers, but your permission to take over. Will you let Him? Say it now in the comments. Lord, I give you my day. Let your declaration echo through time. Tell us, what part of your day needs His peace? What moment do you dread? Let us pray with you. Let us agree with heaven for your peace and protection. And as you come back here again tomorrow, start this holy pattern. Begin your day by giving it back to the one who gave it to you. Child of God, the Lord is not looking for perfection this morning. He's looking for surrender. He's not waiting for you to impress Him. He's waiting for you to invite Him in. The day may bring opportunities or opposition, but neither is too great for the one who walks with God. You are not stepping into an unprotected space. According to Psalm 91, those who dwell in the secret place of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. Today that shadow stretches over you, shielding, covering, keeping, guarding. You are surrounded not by fear, but by favor. Let your steps today be led by peace, not pressure. Let your conversations carry grace, not defense. Let your work be blessed by His hand, not stressed by your striving. Let the moments in between become altars of stillness, where God can whisper, "I'm still here." Beloved, the Lord is going ahead of you, but He's also walking beside you. You don't have to force anything today. You just have to follow. He is the shepherd who knows the way and guards the path. Trust Him with your morning, your midday, your evening, and you will see that no moment was wasted. And even if interruptions come, if plans unravel, if emotions rise, let it drive you back into His presence, not away from it. He does not measure your worth by your performance. He anchors it in your position as His beloved. And because you are His, your day is safe in His hands. The morning may bring its noise, its distractions, its rising demands, but beneath all of it is a sacred stillness. the quiet certainty that God is already working on your behalf. When you said, "Lord, I give you my day," heaven responded, not with silence, but with movement, with covering, with blessing. You may not feel it yet, but the spiritual realm has shifted. Your surrender activated something, not because God needed permission, but because He honors free will. He partners with yielded hearts. He delights in those who trust Him enough to hand over the pen and say, "Write this day, Lord, not me." That act alone silences the enemy's agenda. That moment of surrender becomes a gate through which favor flows. You are not at the mercy of circumstance. You are under the mercy of God. Even the unpredictable moments of your day are still held in His sovereignty. Every what if that lingers in your mind is already met with an I am from His heart. He does not guess. He knows. He does not panic. He plans, and He has already made provision for what you have yet to encounter. Think of David again, who rose early to seek the Lord before facing battles. He knew that what was poured into him in the presence of God could not be taken from him in the presence of enemies. He declared in Psalm 27:1, "The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear?" That is the posture of one who has surrendered his day into holy hands. You may not have a literal battlefield before you, but you have spiritual terrain to walk, decisions to make, people to deal with, emotions to regulate, temptations to resist. And in every one of those places, God goes before you as a shield. His protection isn't just a distant concept, it's a moment-by-moment reality. There are things God is protecting you from that you will never even know about. Delays that felt frustrating, but were really divine redirections. Conversations that didn't happen because the wrong influence was being held back. You don't always need to see what He's doing to be grateful. You just need to trust that He is. Beloved, speak it again with confidence. "Lord, I give you my day." Let it become a rhythm, a repeated breath, a quiet war cry against anxiety and self-reliance. The more you say it, the more your spirit will begin to rise above what your eyes can see. Faith does not deny reality. It invites heaven into it. This kind of surrender isn't weakness, it's alignment. It's wisdom. It's strength cloaked in humility. You're not giving up the day, you're giving it over to the only one who can truly handle it. You're saying, "I trust your pace, your wisdom, your hand, even when it disrupts my plans." God sees the end from the beginning. He knows what the next hour holds and what the next season requires. He knows what needs to die in your schedule and what needs to live again. And He's faithful to lead you not into chaos, but into clarity. Not into exhaustion, but into grace. Some things may not go as you hoped today, but that does not mean the day is lost. The favor of God is not fragile. His protection does not shatter when life throws unexpected turns. The Lord is still writing beauty into every moment you yield. And the more you trust Him, the more you will begin to see His fingerprints on even the smallest details. Let your thoughts today be guarded by His truth. Let your actions be anchored in His Spirit. Let your emotions find shelter in His presence. And when you feel yourself drifting into old patterns of stress or control, come back to this prayer. Whisper it again, "Lord, I give you my day." There is no stronger way to live than in full dependence on the Lord. This is the path of peace, the path of blessing, the path of divine guidance. And as you walk it, the light of His presence will go before you, making crooked paths straight, leveling valleys, and lifting your heart to see with the eyes of faith. Let this be your holy rhythm, not just in the morning, but in every moment. God, I give you this. God, I trust you with this. God, I need you in this. He is not annoyed by your need. He is drawn to it. He is the shepherd, and your surrender is the sound that leads Him close. There's something sacred about beginning your day with open hands. It's not just a gesture, it's a declaration. You're telling the heavens and every force of darkness watching, "I'm not in control today, God is." And that truth becomes a shield, a holy force field around your thoughts, your time, your home. Even now, the Lord is establishing things in your day you didn't plan but will bless you. He is shifting hearts in conversations you haven't had yet. He is redirecting you from distractions you didn't even know were waiting. This is what divine protection looks like. Not just guarding from harm, but guiding into peace. Beloved, when you gave God your day, you gave Him the power to rearrange it for your good. That means interruptions are not always interference. Sometimes they are invitations to experience His leading in real time. Stay soft, stay flexible. Let the Holy Spirit rearrange your steps with purpose. There will be moments today when you will be tempted to rush, to prove, to fix, to force. But don't. That pressure is not from God. That urgency is not your portion. You were never meant to carry what He has already offered to hold. His protection flows not just around you, but through you, calming your mind, steadying your heart. When David wrote, "He leads me beside still waters," it wasn't poetic escape, it was spiritual truth. God doesn't just save you from danger. He shepherds you into quiet confidence. And the more you practice His presence, the more your atmosphere changes. Chaos can't thrive where trust is rooted. Protection doesn't always look like angels with swords. Sometimes it looks like unexpected peace in a tense moment, or a last-minute change in plans, or a conversation that shifts when you speak with gentleness instead of fear. God protects by guiding, He shields by speaking, He covers by leading. You may not know what this day will ask of you, but the one who goes before you has already seen it and prepared you for it. When you said, "Lord, I give you my day," heaven said, "Then I'll give you what you need for it." And that divine exchange is happening even now. Let your thoughts be anchored in this truth. You are not exposed. You are not forgotten. You are not sent into this day without divine backup. You are walking under a spiritual canopy, a covering crafted by the blood of Jesus, sealed by the Word, and enforced by angels. Even your weaknesses today are safe in His hands. You don't have to perform for His love or pretend strength to keep His favor. Your honesty invites His help. Your need invites His nearness. That's what makes this relationship sacred. He doesn't love a version of you. He loves you. Let that truth shape how you carry yourself today. You don't need to hustle for what heaven has already written. You don't need to strive for what's already yours in Christ. Rest doesn't mean inactivity. It means alignment. When you move with God, even your busiest moments carry peace. Child of God, your protection today is not reactive. It's proactive. It is already surrounding your car, your phone calls, your meetings, your meals. It is hovering over your children, your spouse, your thoughts, your words. Every step you take is hedged in by His mercy. And because He is your refuge, you can move forward in faith. You can answer emails in peace. You can make hard decisions with clarity. You can navigate the unexpected without being shaken. Because the one who holds your day is also holding you. And even if something goes wrong, even if you forget to pray or fall into old habits, His protection does not vanish. He is not a fair-weather friend. He is the good shepherd, and He leaves the 99 just to cover the one. You are that one. You are always that one. So walk with peace, speak with grace, think with faith, and when fear knocks, because it will, let your answer be simple and steady. I gave this day to God, and I trust Him with it still. There is something powerful about quiet confidence, the kind that doesn't shout, doesn't rush, doesn't panic. That's the kind of strength God gives when you begin your day in surrender. Not loud strength, but lasting strength. Not surface calm, but soul-deep stability. And today, that strength is yours. You may face things that test your peace, unexpected news, delays, disappointments. But remember this, those things may touch your day, but they cannot define it. What defines your day is not the problem you face, but the presence you carry. And you carry the presence of the Most High God. Beloved, the Lord is not pacing heaven hoping you'll figure things out. He's already ahead of you, preparing divine responses for things that haven't even happened yet. That's the kind of covering you walk under. That's the kind of Father you serve. Steady, faithful, always present. And because you've placed your day in His hands, your emotions no longer have to lead the way. You don't have to react to everything. You don't have to explain yourself to everyone. You don't have to defend your peace to voices that don't understand it. You are governed by a higher voice now. The Bible says in Isaiah 26:3, "You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust in you." That's not a maybe, it's a promise. Trust steadies the mind, and trust is exactly what you expressed when you said, "Lord, I give you my day." There will be moments today when your old patterns will want to rise, the need to fix, the urge to control, the pull of doubt, but those are not your leaders anymore. You've crowned a new king over your day, and where Jesus rules, chaos loses its power. Let this be your holy rhythm. Breathe in peace, breathe out surrender. Repeat it when the stress creeps close. Whisper it when the clock moves too fast. Declare it when discouragement tries to land. Lord, I gave you my day and I will not take it back. You don't need a perfect plan for this to be a blessed day. You need a perfect shepherd, and you already have him. Jesus isn't waiting for the next crisis to join you. He's been with you since the first blink of your eyes this morning, and he's not leaving. There is a path ahead of you that's being cleared even now. A path of wisdom, a path of provision, a path of favor. You don't have to chase opportunity, you walk in it. You don't have to strive for connection, you carry divine alignment. That's what happens when your steps are ordered by the Lord. And when resistance comes, because it always does, you don't have to fear. Resistance is not always the enemy. Sometimes it's God protecting you from what looks good, but isn't aligned. And sometimes it's proof that you're moving in the right direction. Think of David again. How many times he faced resistance, yet never rushed ahead of God. He inquired first. He paused. He waited for the Lord's timing. And because of that, every battle was covered. Every step, even the hard ones, became part of his victory story. Let that be your story too. Let the hard moments be reminders, not roadblocks. Reminders that you are not walking alone. Reminders that you've given this day to God. Reminders that whatever tries to rise against you must also contend with the one who goes before you. So walk boldly, speak gently, trust deeply. You are not trying to survive this day. You are positioned to thrive in it, not by might, not by power, but by His Spirit. The same Spirit who hovered over the waters in Genesis is hovering over you now. This is the rhythm of the righteous. Not perfection, but presence. Not control, but surrender. Not panic, but peace. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not unprepared. You are exactly where you're meant to be when your heart says, "Lord, this day is yours." This is the beauty of surrender. It doesn't weaken you, it grounds you. When you let go of trying to control the outcome, you create space for God to work miracles. And today, because you've handed over your day, heaven is already arranging what you could never orchestrate on your own. There is favor walking beside you now. You may not feel it tangibly, but it's there, like air around your steps, like light around your shadow. Favor doesn't always look like promotion or applause. Sometimes it looks like peace in a conversation where there could have been strife. Sometimes it's a door closing gently so a better one can open wide. When you said, "Lord, I give you my day," you did more than pray. You shifted the atmosphere around you. You opened your life to the wisdom of heaven. You invited the Spirit of God to shape the unseen. And even now, He is moving in ways you'll one day look back on and realize that was God. The protection you asked for is not passive. It's not just God watching. It's God moving. It's God placing boundaries the enemy cannot cross. It's angels dispatched at the edges of your decisions. It's divine discernment rising in your spirit at just the right moment to pause, to speak, to move, or to stay. The blessings you seek may not always come wrapped in the way you expect. Some will arrive in silence. Some will show up in the form of a person. Others in a moment of sudden clarity. But all of them, every single one, is marked by the fingerprint of a loving God who hears and responds. Sometimes blessing is simply knowing what not to do. Sometimes it's peace when others are overwhelmed. Sometimes it's the right word to say at the right time that changes the course of a conversation, a relationship, even a life. Don't underestimate how heaven works through yielded hearts. Beloved, the world will try to measure your success today by how much you achieve. But heaven measures differently. It looks for obedience, for trust, for the heart that says, "I will not rush ahead of you, Lord. I will not rely on my own wisdom. I will walk with you, and that will be enough. David prayed in Psalm 25:4-5. Show me your ways, Lord. Teach me your paths. Guide me in your truth, and teach me. That is the prayer of someone who's not leaning on his own ability, but resting in the instruction of God. That's the posture that invites divine blessing. And as you go about your day, remember, there is nothing too ordinary to invite God into. The errands, the meetings, the chores, the drive home, every moment becomes sacred when you say, God, be here too. And He will be, not in flashes of lightning, but in the quiet steadiness of peace. Let that peace be your guide. If you lose it, pause, breathe, return. Say again, Lord, I give you this moment. Your surrender is not a one-time event. It's a rhythm, like breath, like heartbeat. It's how you stay in step with the Spirit instead of getting swept up in the chaos of the world. And when people ask how you remain calm, how you keep smiling, how you walk with quiet assurance, tell them, it's not strength, it's surrender. It's not luck, it's the Lord. It's not perfect planning, it's perfect peace, given by a faithful Father. You are walking in favor, not because you earned it, but because you chose to yield. You are shielded today, not because of fear, but because of trust. The moment you gave your day to God, He marked it. He surrounded it. He appointed it for purpose and blessing. Even now, that blessing is unfolding. Even now, what you committed to Him is being carried by Him. And even now, heaven rejoices that you chose to begin not with control, but with surrender. You're not just living another day, you're walking a consecrated one. Every surrendered day becomes fertile ground for miracles. Not always loud, not always dramatic, but holy nonetheless. The kind of miracles that change you from the inside out, that realign your thinking, that restore your joy, that whisper, God was here, even in this. You may not see the evidence all at once, but just as seeds grow in silence beneath the soil, what you gave to God this morning is already bearing fruit. Trust that. Trust the quiet work. Trust the invisible hand of the Father, shaping the seen from the unseen. This is what walking with God looks like. Not chasing signs, but listening for whispers. Not forcing outcomes, but trusting in timing. And even if today feels ordinary, know this: there is nothing ordinary about a life lived under divine authority. You may encounter resistance today. Not everything will flow easily. Not everyone will understand your peace. But don't let that shake you. You didn't surrender your day for ease. You surrendered it for alignment. And alignment sometimes means separation from things not sent by God. Let that separation be holy. Let closed doors be trusted. Let delays become invitations to pray deeper. When something unexpected happens, pause and say, God, I gave you this day, so I trust you even here. That is where your greatest growth will happen. Not in perfect moments, but in surrendered ones. Protection isn't always keeping trouble away. Sometimes it's God keeping you anchored while trouble passes. You may walk through shadows today, but you will not be overcome by them. Why? Because you walk with the light of the world, and where His light is, darkness cannot remain. Psalm 121:5-6 says, The Lord watches over you, the Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. That is your covering, that is your promise, and that is your reality whether you feel it or not. So when your thoughts start to spiral, when worry knocks, when disappointment tries to cling, answer it with worship, answer it with scripture, answer it with the memory of this morning's surrender. Lord, I gave you my day and I still trust you with it. That one sentence can silence 100 lies. That one declaration can shift your entire atmosphere. Heaven responds to faith, not perfection. God is not watching for flawless behavior. He is watching for yielded hearts, and yours is already in His hands. Even your imperfections today are not a disqualification. Your stumbles do not cancel your surrender. God knew what today would hold when He received it from your lips this morning. And He still said, I'll cover it. I'll bless it. I'll walk with you through. Beloved, walk confidently. Speak gently. Rest deeply. You are not carrying this day. You are being carried through it. You are not managing everything. You are being led by the one who manages eternity. You are not striving to earn blessing. You are walking in it. The weight is lifting even now. The fear is weakening even now. The Spirit is rising within you even now. Why? Because the day is still His, and what He begins, He is faithful to finish. Let every step remind you this is holy ground. Let every interruption become a new invitation. Let every breath declare, this day is not mine, it's God's. And that alone is enough reason to walk in peace. By now you may be sensing it, that subtle but holy shift inside you. The way your heart steadies, your breath slows, your thoughts soften. That's what happens when a day is carried by surrender. God doesn't just take the weight. He lifts your spirit in the process. You don't have to try so hard to hold it all together anymore. You don't have to anticipate every outcome, plan for every twist, or respond to every demand with urgency. Because the moment you gave this day to God, He began leading, and now your only task is to follow. Even when the path looks unclear, you are not lost. Even when things don't make sense, you are not without direction. He is the God who leads with cloud by day and fire by night, and He knows how to guide a surrendered heart through both sunshine and shadow. Beloved, don't mistake quietness for inactivity. Just because you're not striving doesn't mean you're not moving forward. There is a holy momentum in rest. When you trust God with the day, you are walking in the current of His will, and that current knows exactly where to take you. Today, the blessing may not look like breakthrough. It may look like endurance, like perspective, like joy in the midst of discomfort. But make no mistake, these are gifts too, because they shape you into someone who doesn't just survive the day, but reflects God through it. And the more you practice surrender, the easier it becomes to recognize His hand in the details. The canceled meeting, the delayed response, the open door you didn't expect. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations, evidence that God is honoring what you've entrusted to Him. Psalm 37:5 says, "Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in Him, and He will do this." He will do it, not maybe, not if you earn it, not if things feel good. He will do it because you gave it to Him. That's the strength of surrender. It places the outcome in God's hands, not yours. You were never meant to master every moment. You were meant to yield to the one who already has. There is peace in that. There is power in that. And there is profound relief in remembering that your job today is not to be everything for everyone. It's to stay close to the one who is everything. So don't rush, don't strive, don't panic when the schedule changes or the path bends unexpectedly. Instead, take a breath and say, Lord, I trust the way you're unfolding this day. That sentence alone will hold you steady through moments that might otherwise unnerve you. You may not understand everything that's happening, but you're not called to understand, you're called to trust. And trust doesn't wait for clarity to move forward. Trust takes the next step anyway, confident that God sees the whole road, even when you only see a few feet ahead. There is grace for your weakness. There is provision for your need. There is clarity for your confusion. And all of it is waiting for you, not at the end of the day, but in each surrendered moment. Right here, right now. In this breath, God is near. Let your surrender today be your offering. Let it rise like incense to the throne of heaven. Let it say what words can't. I choose you, Lord. I trust you with this day. I won't take it back. I will rest in your plan. And as you do, the peace of God, not the peace of circumstances, but the peace that passes understanding, will guard your heart and your mind. And that, beloved, is the greatest protection of all. There's a quiet confidence rising in you now, isn't there? A stillness that doesn't come from everything going right, but from knowing you don't have to hold everything up by yourself. That's what surrender does. It reminds your soul that God is not only willing to carry your day, He's already carrying you. When you said, Lord, I give you my day, you exchanged anxiety for assurance. Not because the day will be perfect, but because His presence is. And in that presence, you are safe. You are seen. You are supplied with everything you need. Even if things feel uncertain right now, even if parts of this day didn't unfold the way you hoped, that doesn't mean it's a wasted day. God is still at work, Sometimes the greatest growth happens in the spaces we call interruptions. Sometimes the greatest miracles begin with a no we didn't expect. That's the gift of giving your day to God. He reserves the right to rewrite it for your good. He reserves the right to close doors to protect you, to delay timing to prepare you, to shift plans to strengthen you. And if He's doing that even now, trust that it's mercy, not punishment. You haven't failed just because something felt hard. You haven't lost God's favor just because you cried. He hasn't withdrawn His blessing just because you doubted. No, beloved, His promises are sturdier than your feelings. His protection is greater than your fear. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." That's not theory, it's your anchor. And right now, it's holding you. Let your heart breathe. Let your shoulders drop. Let your mind rest in the truth that God is not surprised by anything this day has held. And if you've wandered from His peace, you don't have to earn your way back. Just pause, return, whisper again, "Lord, I give you my day." He never left you. He never forgot what you gave Him. He has been guiding you even in the moments you felt most lost. That's the goodness of your God. He doesn't walk away when you're tired. He draws near. And when you lay your head down tonight, you'll know this day was holy. Not because it was perfect, but because it was surrendered. Not because you got everything right, but because you kept returning to Him again and again. That's the rhythm of faith. Not flawless execution, but relentless dependence. That's what the Lord loves. Not performance, but presence. And today you have stayed close. Today you have walked with Him. And even in your stumbling, you have been held. The blessing is still on you. The protection is still around you. The favor is still unfolding. Maybe quietly, maybe slowly, but surely. And before the sun sets, let your heart say it one more time. God, you are good, and I trust you with what's left of this day. Because surrender isn't something you did this morning and forgot. It's something you return to in every hour. That's the power of grace. That's the gift of walking with Jesus. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to keep coming back. There is something sacred about the return, that quiet turning of your heart back to the Lord, no matter what the day has looked like. That's what sets you apart. Not perfection, not constant clarity, but the willingness to say again, "Lord, here I am, still trusting you." By now the day may have already tested you. Maybe your patience was stretched, maybe your plans unraveled, maybe you felt the weight of expectations pressing hard against your peace. But even so, you're still here, still breathing, still choosing to trust. And that, beloved, is strength. The presence of God has not lifted. His covering has not weakened. The very same arms you entrusted your day to this morning are still wrapped around you now. Nothing you faced today caught Him off guard, and nothing can separate you from His care. Think again of David, the warrior, the worshiper, the man after God's own heart. He stumbled, he failed, he wept, but he also returned. Again and again, he ran back to the Lord. And every time he did, he found not rejection, but refuge. Psalm 119:2 says, "The Lord is my rock, my fortress and my deliverer. My God is my rock in whom I take refuge." That is the promise still available to you. Whether your day has been filled with joy or chaos, victory or uncertainty, you are safe in Him. There is no part of this day that is outside His redemption. Not the words you regret, not the time you lost, not the frustrations you couldn't control. If God holds all things together, then He can hold together even the parts of your day that feel scattered. Beloved, do not let the enemy convince you that this day is wasted. It is not. Every time you pause to turn your heart toward the Father in prayer, in surrender, in worship, you are redeeming the time. You are inviting eternity into the ordinary. There is healing in that. There is restoration in that. And there is power in remembering that the day you gave to God is still being shaped by His hands. Even now He is weaving beauty from the broken threads. Even now He is speaking order into what felt like disorder. The blessing is not reserved for perfect moments. The blessing flows in surrendered ones. And right here, in this very breath, you can align again. You can speak again. You can declare, God, I still trust you. Take this moment. Take the rest of this day. It's yours. That is not defeat. That is faith. That is not giving up. It is rising up in trust. Every act of surrender renews your strength. Every whispered prayer realigns your heart. Every return releases new grace. And that grace is never late. So pause now and reflect. Not on what you didn't do, but on who God still is. He is still faithful, still near, still fighting battles you never saw, still calming storms you didn't expect, still preparing blessings you haven't even imagined. And when the temptation comes to measure your worth by your productivity or your peace by your performance, silence it with the word. Say aloud, my day is still in His hands. My heart is still in His care. My future is still anchored in His goodness. This is what it means to walk with God. Not just in the sunrise moments, but in the shadows too. Not just when things go smoothly, but when they unravel. To walk with Him means you never walk alone. And that truth is what will carry you through. As the hours stretch forward, don't forget what anchored you this morning. Don't lose the sweetness of that early surrender in the noise of the day. The same God who met you in the stillness is walking with you in the movement. He does not depart when life gets loud. He draws even nearer. If you find yourself overwhelmed, remember what He promised in Isaiah 41:10. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. Those words are not passive comforts. They are declarations of divine nearness. God is not watching from afar. He is with you, holding you, guiding you. Even when the pace of the day demands more than you thought you had, the Lord supplies. Not just in the morning, but moment by moment. He does not pour strength into imaginary futures. He gives grace for now, and now is where you meet Him again. Perhaps things didn't go your way. Perhaps a conversation lingered too long in your thoughts. Perhaps you doubted or slipped or snapped. That doesn't cancel the prayer you spoke this morning. That doesn't void the covering of surrender. You're still under grace. Beloved, the weight you feel may not be a burden. It may be a reminder that you weren't created to carry everything, that even now you can stop, breathe, hand it back to God. Say it again, gently but firmly. Lord, I give you this day again and again if I must. That's the beauty of relationship. God doesn't limit your access. He doesn't restrict His attention. He is never annoyed by your repeated need. He delights in your return. He leans in when you whisper His name. He honors the heart that keeps choosing Him. There is a kind of peace that surpasses understanding, not because your circumstances change, but because your heart becomes anchored in someone greater than the storm. And you have that peace within you. It's not a feeling to chase, it's a promise to stand on. Even now, heaven sees you. Even now, angels walk beside you. Even now, the Spirit within you is interceding with groanings too deep for words. So when you're weary, you're not alone. When you're confused, you're not forsaken. When you're struggling, you're still surrounded. The enemy may try to accuse you, to whisper that you've fallen too far, doubted too much, lost your grip. But remind him of this truth. The Lord who holds your future also holds your fragile moments. And He is not intimidated by your humanity. There's still blessing ahead today, still provision waiting in the next hour, still divine appointments unfolding in places you haven't walked into yet. The hand of God does not slow down because of your discouragement. It stays steady even when your faith feels shaken. Return to that morning moment. Close your eyes for just a breath and remember how it felt to surrender. Let that memory be a well you can draw from, again and again, because surrender wasn't a one-time act. It's a rhythm your spirit is learning to live in. And in that rhythm, you will find rest, not because everything is resolved, but because your soul is no longer resisting. That's where miracles happen, in the hearts that say, not my will but yours, in the minds that breathe, even now I trust you. Keep walking, beloved. Not perfectly, but faithfully. The day is not over, and neither is the story God is writing in it. There is still more unfolding, even in the quiet moments you might overlook. The God who breathed life into your lungs this morning hasn't stopped speaking. His voice is still echoing in the details, in the delays, in the pauses, in the unexpected turns that call you back to Him. You may have thought this day would go one way, but God is never confined to your schedule. He interrupts with purpose. He reroutes with love. And even the moments that feel like detours are often divine setups for blessings your mind couldn't have planned. Sometimes the answer to your prayer comes hidden in inconvenience. Sometimes protection looks like a door that won't open. Sometimes peace shows up as silence. And in all of it, God is there, sovereign, good, attentive to your every step. Let your heart be soft toward Him, even when you don't understand. Let your trust deepen, not because you see, but because you believe He sees everything. That's the faith that pleases Him, the kind that says, even now, even here, I still choose you. The enemy may try to rush you, to convince you that you've fallen behind or missed something important. But God's timing is not pressured by man's clocks. His protection may look like slowness to others, but it is perfect pace for the one who walks with Him. Isaiah 30:21 says, whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it. That voice hasn't stopped. You're not without direction. You're just being called to listen more closely. So listen now, not with your ears, but with your spirit. What is God whispering in this moment? Maybe it's a gentle reminder, you're doing better than you think. Or maybe it's a reassurance, you haven't missed a thing. I've held it all for you. When you gave your day to God, you invited Him into every second, even the ones you forgot to pray through. That's the grace of divine partnership. He doesn't require you to be constantly aware of Him, only willing to come back when you drift. And if today has been harder than you expected, don't let that harden your heart. Let it draw you deeper into God's strength. Let it remind you that His power is made perfect in your weakness. You don't have to have it all together, just be held. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not too much or not enough. You are exactly where God can meet you, here, in this breath, in this quiet yes. You belong to Him, and that belonging is your stability. So breathe again. Say again, Lord, I give you what remains of this day, and mean it, because what's left still holds miracles, still holds divine encounters waiting to be revealed in the simplicity of surrender. Don't lose heart. Don't rush ahead. Stay present, even in the unknown. God is not done with this day, and neither is His hand upon you. There is a quiet holiness in what remains. Even now, with the day halfway behind you and the unknown still ahead, the Spirit of God is hovering, shaping, softening, speaking. What you surrendered this morning is still in His hands, untouched by the chaos that tried to unsettle you. It is here, in the middle ground, where faith is tested most. Not in the beginning when hope feels fresh, nor at the end when clarity arrives, but in the waiting hours, the ordinary spaces, where nothing feels obvious. Yet even here, God is at work. You may not see the full picture, but you can still trust the artist. He has not stopped painting beauty into your day. He has not stopped weaving goodness into the cracks. And sometimes, the breakthrough you're praying for begins with simple endurance. Hebrews 10:23 reminds us, let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, for He who promised is faithful. That's the invitation now, to hold on, not with clenched fists, but with open hands. Not through striving, but through surrender, renewed. Beloved, you were never meant to carry this entire day by your own wisdom. You were meant to walk through it hand in hand with the one who sees the end, from the beginning. And He's not rushing you. He's walking with you at the speed of love. This is where growth often hides, in the steady choice to remain faithful when nothing feels dramatic. In the decision to pause, breathe, pray again, and whisper, I'm still here, God. I still give this to you. That's the heart He honored. If your emotions have fluctuated today, that's okay. Faith isn't a flat line, it's a living conversation, a dance between your soul and heaven. And every time you return to God, even with trembling, you are drawing deeper into the rhythm of His grace. Let the afternoon hours be an altar, just as sacred as the morning. Let each moment be a chance to realign. Let the breath in your chest become a prayer without words, a song of trust that rises even when the world stays silent. There is still light ahead, still peace waiting to be received, still unexpected mercies folded inside the smallest interactions. When you gave your day to God, you gave Him permission to surprise you with goodness. Even in overlooked places, He sees your quiet faithfulness, the small yeses, the hidden obedience, the unseen kindness you offered. None of it is forgotten. In fact, those are the very things that draw His blessing nearer. You are walking in favor, even if you can't yet see the fruit. Don't underestimate the power of staying near. Don't rush to fix everything or finish the day strong. By the world's standards, sometimes strength looks like stillness. Sometimes blessing begins when you stop pushing and start resting in Him again. So rest, beloved. Rest in the One who's been writing this day with you all along. Trust that what He began this morning, He is still completing now, and He will not stop until it reflects His goodness in your life. As the afternoon fades into evening, a holy hush begins to settle over the hours. The world may keep spinning, but your spirit is being drawn again, back to that sacred place where the heart remembers its anchor. This too is worship. To return, to realign, to rest again in the arms of your Father. You have made it this far not by your own strength, but by grace. And that grace has not run dry. It flows still, quiet, steady, faithful, covering every conversation, every decision, every weary sigh. The Lord sees it all, and He blesses what you placed in His hands. Psalm 121:8 says, "The Lord will watch over your coming and going both now and forevermore." That includes this very hour, the in-between, the almost there, the not quite finished. You are still surrounded, still protected, still held. Let your soul exhale now. Let the tension of the day melt into the presence of God. You don't have to fix what went wrong. You don't have to control what comes next. You only need to remain in Him, and in that you are already victorious. You've sown prayers throughout this day, in the morning, in the pauses, in the struggles, and heaven has received every one. Nothing has been lost. Not a single whisper of faith has gone unheard. God gathers them like seeds and He waters them in His perfect time. If you've stumbled, beloved, don't hide. Come back. If your heart wandered, don't wait. Return. God is not keeping score, He is keeping covenant. And His covenant with you is sealed in mercy. It cannot be broken by your weakness. You were never expected to be flawless. You were only asked to be faithful. And faithfulness looks like coming back again and again. Even if all you can offer is a sigh, He receives that sigh like incense. He calls it beautiful. There is still more He wants to do in you before this day is done. Still more peace to release, still more strength to offer, still more whispers to speak into your heart if you will simply quiet the noise and lean in once more. This is how you live a surrendered day. Not by getting it all right, but by continuing to yield. Not by achieving perfection, but by staying near. Every time you turn your gaze back to Him, you are fulfilling the deepest desire of His heart, to be with you. There is no shame in starting over at 3 p.m. or 6 p.m. or 9 p.m. Every hour belongs to Him, and when you offer it, He fills it with holy purpose. Even your fatigue, even your confusion, even your silence, all can become sacred when given to God. So offer it now. Whatever remains, whatever feels unfinished, unresolved, or unclear. Place it in His hands and trust that He is weaving even this into something good. You may not see the full tapestry yet, but the threads are in divine hands. God is faithful to complete what He started. That includes the work He's doing in your heart today. That includes the unseen victories He's preparing. That includes the comfort you don't yet know you'll need later tonight. But He's already made ready.
Stay close, beloved.
Stay tender. Stay open. The story of this day is still being written and it ends in grace. Now the shadows stretch longer and the pace of the day begins to quiet. The sun may be lowering, but heaven's light still surrounds you. This hour too belongs to God. And what you placed in His hands this morning, He has not let go for even a second. There is a sacred rhythm to a life entrusted to the Lord. It's not about how much you accomplish, but how often you return. It's not measured by outcomes but by openness. And right now, in this slowing moment, your spirit is opening once again. You may feel the weariness in your body. You may feel the weight of words spoken, decisions made, or things left undone. But none of that disqualifies you from communion. In fact, it's the very reason you're being called back, so God can lift it all off your shoulders. The Father sees you, not just the version of you that prayed with confidence, but also the part of you that questioned, that hesitated, that tried to take things back into your own hands. He sees and still calls you beloved. He sees and still draws near. Proverbs 3:24 declares, "When you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet." That promise begins before your head touches the pillow. It begins now in the surrender that invites peace into your evening. So begin to release. Let go of the expectation that you had to finish strong in your own strength. Let go of the storylines running through your mind, trying to define your worth. Your identity is not in what happened today. It's in whose hands you've placed it. And you've placed it in holy hands. Hands that do not drop, do not rush, do not retreat. Hands that cradle your day like treasure, knowing how to redeem every moment and restore what felt wasted. This is who your God is, gentle, patient, mighty in love. Even now, heaven is near. Even now, the angels of God stand watch over your dwelling. As it is written in Psalm 91, "No evil will come near, no shadow will steal your peace, because you are under the covering of the Most High." Let the final stretch of this day become a sanctuary, not loud with striving but quiet with trust, not filled with plans but with presence. This is where your soul is restored, not through effort but through stillness beside your shepherd. He's not just God of the morning, he is God of the dusk. And what he began when the sun first rose, he continues now in unseen ways, healing, guiding, and arranging what your eyes cannot yet perceive. So breathe again, set your pace to his heartbeat. Let the evening not signal a slowing down of faith, but a deepening. Let it be the moment you say once more, "Lord, I give you what's left of this day. I trust you to finish what I cannot." Because the one who holds the stars is holding you, and he's not finished yet. The sky begins to dim, painting the horizon in hues of gold and lavender, and still God is present. Not fading with the light, not growing distant with the closing hours, but drawing even nearer as the veil of evening wraps around you. This is when the heart speaks differently. Not with loud declarations, but with quiet recognition. Lord, you've been with me, through the moments you noticed and the ones you didn't, through every sigh, every step, every unspoken prayer. There is beauty in reflection, not for judgment, but for remembrance. When you look back on this day, don't only measure what you did. Remember how you were kept, how you were led, how even in the uncertainty you were never abandoned. Some things may have gone unspoken, longings you couldn't find the words for, but God knows. The Spirit intercedes with groanings too deep for words. And tonight, you are still held in that intercession, carried by a love that understands even your silence. Let the weight lift now. Let the should-haves and what-ifs be laid down at his feet. He is not replaying your day with criticism. He is receiving it like a gift, because you gave it in faith. And faith, even small, trembling faith, pleases him. Psalm 4:8 says, "In peace I will lie down and sleep. For you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety." That peace doesn't wait for your head to rest. It begins now, as you release your grip and settle once more into his arms. You don't need every answer tonight. You don't need everything wrapped up or resolved. What you need is presence, and you have that. You need assurance, and he is giving it. You need rest, and he is offering it, without condition. So be still again. Let his nearness comfort you. Let the stillness become holy. Let the absence of noise be a reminder that you are not alone, but lovingly watched over. Even when the world around you grows quiet, God has not grown tired of you. He is not distant because you grew weary. In fact, He is most near to the worn, the wondering, the ones who whisper, "I tried my best, Lord." He hears that, and he answers with mercy. Your day, however it unfolded, was not wasted, not to heaven, not to the heart of God. He saw you rise, stumble, try again, and believe. That was enough. And he is finishing what you began in surrender. The blessings of this day are still unfolding. Even now, seeds you sowed in prayer are being watered. Even now, things you handed over in faith are being held by holy hands. The harvest may not be today, but it is coming. So close the day slowly, not with urgency, but with reverence. Not rushing to the end, but savoring the stillness. This is still your offering, and God is still receiving it with joy. The final threads of sunlight fade beyond the horizon, and night begins its quiet reign. Yet in this darkness, there is no fear, only the deepening of trust. For the same God who lit the morning fire is now wrapping you in divine shelter. This is where rest becomes sacred, not just for the body, but for the soul. A holy pause, a divine rhythm, where everything you carried is set down, not in exhaustion but in worship. Because giving your day to God means trusting Him to hold what's too heavy. You've walked through highs and lows today, moments that tested your patience, moments that stretched your faith, and still you've returned here, to this altar of quiet, where peace meets surrender and grace rewrites every unfinished story. Even the questions that remain, the ones without closure, the ones that ache quietly in the corners of your heart, are safe here. God is not impatient with your wondering. He invites it. He welcomes the soul that leans into Him in the unknown. Isaiah 26:3 declares, "You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust in you." That's what this hour is about. Trust renewed, peace restored, a mind resting not on control but on the constancy of your Creator. And what a Creator He is. He never slumbers. He never grows distracted. He watches over you with a love that neither sleeps nor wanes. Even as you close your eyes, heaven remains awake, and it surrounds you with holy protection. You don't have to review the day again in your mind. God already saw it. You don't have to analyze your choices or relive your mistakes. He's already covered them in mercy. You don't have to carry regrets into tomorrow. Grace is already there, wait. Let the hush of this moment invite you into stillness. The kind of stillness that heals, the kind that whispers truths louder than the day's demands. You are safe. You are known. You are not alone. You are beloved. No enemy can cross the boundary of divine presence. No fear can overtake a heart guarded by the Spirit of God. No darkness can silence the voice of the one who calls you His own. You are shielded by light that never burns out. Let that settle into your spirit. Let it wrap around your thoughts and settle over your heart, like a soft heavenly covering. Your room is not empty, it's filled with glory. Your night is not silent, it's echoing with unseen songs of angels. And if your heart still feels restless, tell Him. Pour it out even in a whisper. Heaven does not require eloquence, only honesty. The Father leans close when His child speaks from the depths. Even if the only words you can manage are "Help me, Lord," He will answer. Maybe not in thunder, but in the quiet peace that suddenly replaces your anxiety. Maybe not with everything solved, but with everything held. And that is more than enough for this night. Night has fully arrived, blanketing the earth in stillness. Yet the presence of God remains thick and alive around you. Though the world has quieted, the heavens have not ceased their attention over you. Every breath you take is being counted. Every tear, if any have fallen, is being held in divine hands. The darkness outside your window is not absence, it is invitation. An invitation to step deeper into God's refuge and trust Him with what your eyes can no longer see. There is a sanctuary that opens when the world slows, and your soul becomes more receptive to the whispers of the Spirit. What you rushed past during the day, the Lord now gently brings back with compassion and clarity. Not to condemn, but to comfort. He speaks in this sacred hour, not with demands, but with grace. And His voice, though soft, carries the power to shift the weight off your chest. Perhaps you felt scattered today, pulled in many directions and wondering if anything you did truly mattered. But heaven saw what no one else could: your persistence, your prayers, your effort to keep believing. In the invisible realm, you've been building altars, sowing in faith, and walking by light not seen. Don't let your weary heart convince you otherwise. God has not missed a single act of surrender. You may not have the answers yet, but you do have access to the one who holds them all, and he is not holding back from you. He is teaching you to lean not on what you know, but on who he is. This is the sacred work of trust, and trust is never wasted when it is placed in the hands of your Redeemer. Tonight, let your soul lay its questions down like stones at the altar. Each worry, each burden, each silent cry, place them gently before him. He already knows them, but your offering is in the release. Your worship is in the letting go, and your healing begins in this holy exchange. Lamentations 3:23 tells us, "His mercies are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness." That mercy is already preparing to meet you with the sunrise. But even before the morning arrives, that mercy is active. It is covering you while you sleep. It is surrounding you like a divine shield, even now. Let the Spirit of God breathe peace into the places your mind still circles around. Let him touch the wounds that throb beneath the surface. Let him rewrite the storylines that shame has been rehearsing. For his truth speaks louder than fear, and his love silences the noise. He is not finished writing your story. You are not a burden. You are not too broken. You are not behind. You are exactly where he can reach you. You are exactly who he still chooses, again and again, no matter how tired you feel tonight. Lift your eyes again, even if they are heavy. Heaven is not waiting for you to be perfect, just willing. You don't have to pretend here. You don't have to perform. You are safe in the presence of your Father. And in this moment, right here, there is still room for one more prayer, one more surrender, one more breath that says, "God, I trust you." Don't underestimate how deeply he moves when a heart opens this way. The quietest whisper can shake the gates of heaven. This is not the end of your day. It is a new beginning, a turning point in your spirit, a holy space where you let go not just of control but of fear, where you exchange striving for stillness, and where you discover that God is not only the author of your story, he is your rest between the chapters. There is an anointing resting on you now, not because of what you've done, but because of who he is. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. You are not alone in this room. The Holy Spirit is hovering, brooding over your soul like in Genesis, preparing new life. So sleep will come, and peace will cover you. But even more, his presence will remain, unshakable, tender, strong, everlasting. The silence deepens, and your room becomes more than just a place of rest. It becomes a holy meeting place between your soul and the Spirit of God. You have entered the hours where the veil feels thinner, where the weight of the world gives way to the weight of glory. This is not just sleep approaching, but surrender unfolding. Your breath slows, and so does the racing of your mind. God is here, not far off, not busy elsewhere, but sitting right beside you, guarding every breath. There's something sacred about this stillness. It's where the Father leans in close to whisper what the world could never tell you. His voice doesn't accuse, it affirms. His nearness doesn't demand, it delights. And his presence doesn't rush you. It holds you with patience, waiting until your spirit feels safe enough to fully rest. You've done more than you realize today. Even if nothing seemed to go as planned, your prayers were heard, your obedience was noted, and your faith, however fragile, still pleased heaven more than 1,000 flawless actions done without love. There is a reason your heart still turns toward God in the quiet. It's because your spirit remembers, even if your mind forgets, that you were made for communion. You weren't made to carry everything. You were made to bring everything to the altar and lay it down. And now, beloved, that altar is right here. Psalm 121:4 says, "Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep." So while you prepare to close your eyes, know this: heaven stays awake. Angels take post. The Spirit hovers, and God himself sings songs of deliverance over you in the night. You may feel vulnerable right now, body tired, emotions spent, But God sees that tenderness as sacred. He moves gently toward it, not to demand but to dwell. He is not impressed by your strength. He is drawn to your surrender. That's where His glory rests. Let tonight be the exhale your soul has needed. Let this be the moment you stop striving to earn peace and simply receive it. Not because everything is solved, but because God has already begun the work of restoration. And what He begins, He always finishes. With beauty, with grace, with divine perfection. You are safe to stop rehearsing tomorrow in your mind. God is already there. You are safe to stop judging today's worth. It has already been counted as seed, and you are safe to close your eyes without fear. The Lord has stationed His angels around you. There's nothing too big for Him to handle while you rest. Nothing too broken for Him to begin mending while you sleep. Your limitations are not liabilities in His hands. They are invitations. They invite Him to do what only He can do. So let the rhythm of your breath become worship. Let your last thoughts not be of stress or shame, but of God's nearness and faithfulness. Let His name be the final word on your lips before rest comes. For when you sleep with His name, you rise with His strength. Tonight, He's reminding you, you are not what you feared today. You are not what others failed to see in you. You are not what went wrong. You are His, wholly, deeply, and forever His. If the tears come now, let them. They are not weakness. They are release. They are worship. They are trust in liquid form. And the Lord receives them like precious oil. The night may feel long, but grace stretches longer. The shadows may grow, but the light within you is unquenchable. Rest now, knowing you are held. Not in theory, not in sentiment, but in the eternal arms of the Almighty. You will not be dropped. You will not be forgotten. The night sky stretches like a canvas of stillness above you. But what fills the silence now is not emptiness, it's divine presence. Heaven has not left you to drift alone in the quiet. It has wrapped itself around your soul like a warm cloak. God's breath is closer than your next thought, and His heartbeat gently pulses through every quiet moment. You are not forgotten in the dark. You are remembered in love. The darkness is not your enemy tonight. It is the holy space where God's comfort speaks the loudest. All through the day, you've given pieces of yourself, your time, your attention, your love, your strength. And now, in the holy hush of this hour, God gives back to you. He gives peace for your pressure, grace for your gaps, and stillness for your storm. He's not waiting for you to prove your devotion. He's already delighted that you've come to rest in Him. There is no performance here, only presence. The same God who parted seas and raised the dead is here, now sitting beside your bed, attentive to your heartbeat and your breathing. He is not distracted by the world's chaos. He is focused on you. He is not far from your struggles. He is wrapped around them. And even now, He is working in the unseen places of your life to bring restoration, resolution, and rest. Even if you doubted Him today, He did not withdraw His love. Even if you failed to pray, He didn't fail to cover you. Even if your faith felt small, His grace remained big. That's the beauty of covenant love. It doesn't flinch when you're fragile, and it doesn't fold when you falter. It stays, it holds, it carries. Psalm 3:5 says, I lie down and sleep. I wake again, because the Lord sustains me. You will sleep tonight because He sustains you. Not because you figured it all out, not because the day was perfect, but because God remains unshaken, and in Him, so do you. You are not the sum of what went wrong today. You are the one God chose, even in the middle of your uncertainty. The world may measure outcomes, but heaven measures surrender. And tonight, in this surrender, heaven rejoices over you again. Let your breath slow. Let your spirit unclench. Let the striving fall away. God is not impressed by how much you push. He is moved by how much you trust. And right now, trust looks like breathing and releasing. This night is not empty of miracles. It is full of them, just hidden from sight. Some prayers you whispered today are already being answered in motion. Some burdens you released are already in His hands. Just because you can't see the roots growing doesn't mean the seed is dead. You don't have to fight through this hour. You can float in it, You can be carried fully and freely. You don't have to defend your right to rest. God defends you. He blesses you. And He calls this moment holy. You are not alone in your bed. The Lord encamps around those who fear Him, and that includes you. The angels do not sleep on their post. The Spirit does not leave when the lights go out. The presence of God is thick in the shadows. If guilt tries to enter, let grace answer the door. If anxiety tries to wake you, let peace speak louder. If regret whispers its rehearsals, let God's voice interrupt with love. You are not required to hold the weight. You are invited to be held. This night is not a punishment. It's not a delay. It's an anointed pause, a resting place between miracles. So let yourself be still, not as someone forgotten, but as someone chosen to be restored. This too is worship. And if you feel like weeping, let the tears fall freely. They are a sacred river that flows into His hands. He bottles each one, understands each one, and transforms each one. In His presence, nothing is wasted, not even your sorrow. Let your soul now be wrapped in peace, not the kind that comes from answers, but the kind that flows from God's nearness. His Spirit surrounds you like a warm current, gently lifting the weight you were never meant to carry alone. The Father is not asking you to be stronger. He is inviting you to be still. In the quiet, He is speaking, and in your stillness, He is working. You don't need to prove anything tonight. You only need to receive. Even the ache you cannot name is seen. Even the thoughts you tried to silence are known. And still you are loved, not in part but in full. God does not love a future version of you. He loves the version breathing here, eyes heavy, heart open, soul reaching. This day has come to a close, but heaven has not clocked out. The King who never sleeps is still attending to your needs. While the world powers down, the throne of grace is still ablaze with mercy. You are not going to sleep beneath indifference. You are resting under the shadow of the Almighty. Deuteronomy 33:27 declares, "The eternal God is your refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. Those arms hold you now. You are not slipping. You are not alone on this journey. Beneath every question, every uncertainty, those arms are catching you again and again. You've carried so much through this day, fears about tomorrow, regrets from yesterday, questions with no clear answer. But now, in this holy hush, it's safe to let it go. The Lord isn't waiting to correct you. He's waiting to comfort you. His kindness is stronger than your shame. Let this night rewire your heart with truth. You are more than what you feel. You are more than what you fear. You are not defined by the gaps in your plans or the wounds in your story. You are defined by God's decision to call you His. There is healing even in the silence. There is breakthrough even in the breath. When you lay down your guard, God lays down His goodness. He meets the honest, not the perfect. He meets the surrendered, not the polished. Some days end quietly, not with triumph, but with trust. And trust is no small thing. Trust shifts the atmosphere. Trust opens the gates of heaven. Trust is what pleases the heart of God even more than success. You are not failing if all you did today was survive. You are not lost if all you can do now is pray in whispers. Heaven measures differently. It weighs the posture of your heart more than the pace of your achievements. And right now, your posture is holy. Let the Holy Spirit wrap around you like a blanket of light. Let your memories from today rest in the hands of the one who sees beyond time. Let your future be loosened from your grip and placed back where it belongs, in God's perfect plan. And let your heart find rest in this divine embrace. The Lord is nearer now than even your next thought. He is leaning over you with joy, not judgment, with peace, not pressure, with love that lingers, not conditions that change. Rest under that love. It is your portion tonight. And as you breathe slower and surrender deeper, know this: your sleep is not a pause in His power. It is a doorway to His miracles. Many of them begin in silence, in stillness, in trust. So sleep knowing that your midnight is not missed. It is watched, guarded, and blessed. The night deepens, and yet God's presence does not thin. It thickens. The more the world grows quiet, the louder his love becomes. Every breath you take is being witnessed by the one who crafted your lungs. Every sigh is sacred, and every whisper of your heart is answered in a language older than words, the language of grace. You are not forgotten in this hour. You are not passed over. Heaven sees you, stretched out beneath the stars, wrapped in your weariness, resting on promises that have not yet come to pass. And even here, especially here, you are precious in his sight, and he delights in covering you with peace. This is not just the end of a day, it is the beginning of new mercy. You are not closing your eyes in defeat. You are laying down in faith. Faith that God has already gone before you. Faith that angels have already been dispatched. Faith that tomorrow's grace is already rising like the morning sun. Romans 8:38-39 reminds us that nothing can separate us from the love of God. Not exhaustion, not worry, not even silence. His love reaches through it all. Tonight, that love is holding your spirit so gently that even your most fragile pieces feel safe. You may not have finished everything today, but the author of your life is still writing, and he is never rushed. He never loses track of the storyline. He doesn't miss chapters, and he never forgets the plot. He will turn even the pain into poetry, even the delay into destiny. What if the most holy thing you can do tonight is trust? Not solve, not fix, just trust. Trust that God sees what you can't, that he's doing more than you asked, that he is faithful to the end, not just the end of your strength, but the end of the journey. Let that trust be your lullaby. Let it quiet every accusing voice. Let it soften every tension in your shoulders. Let it release the weight behind your eyes. You are safe in the hands of the Almighty, safer than you know, safer than you feel, safer than you've ever been. The fear that crept in through the cracks today cannot stay in the presence of this peace. The lies that whispered when you were weak cannot linger in this light. And the wounds you carry are already being kissed by divine healing. Sleep will not just be recovery, it will be restoration. God is recalibrating your spirit in ways you won't see until morning. He is stitching you back together with threads of joy, wisdom, and supernatural strength. You are not slipping. You are being sown into wholeness. So let yourself go, not into oblivion, but into God. Let yourself rest, not because everything is finished, but because everything is in his hands. Let yourself believe, not because you feel brave, but because his love is perfect and casts out fear. You've done enough today, more than enough. And now you are invited to rest. Not rest from pressure, but rest in presence. Rest in the God who neither grows tired nor weary. Rest in the one who holds the entire world and still makes room to hold you. This is not the end. It is the sacred pause before glory. It is the breath between burdens and blessings. And in this breath, in this stillness, God is whispering, I've got you. I'm not leaving. I never have, and I never will. Now the night is fully upon you, and the hush of heaven settles like dew on your soul. You've journeyed through this day, through every emotion and hour, and you've come to this holy moment where striving ends and God speaks. Not with thunder, but with tenderness. Not with force, but with rest. His presence is the final word over your day. There is nothing more to earn, nothing more to prove. You are not defined by what you accomplished or lacked today. You are defined by who holds you, and he is faithful, patient, and deeply in love with your becoming. Rest in that truth. Let it cradle you through the final minutes of this evening. The burdens you placed at his feet earlier, he hasn't forgotten. The prayers you prayed with trembling hope, he has heard every word, and even the silence you offered when you couldn't find language. That too was holy. God speaks fluent surrender, and he answers it with love. Psalm 101:4 reminds us, Behold, he who keeps Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. And so, while your eyes grow heavy, his gaze remains fixed on you, not with scrutiny, but with affection, not with distance, but with nearness. The Lord himself is watching over you tonight. Let every anxious thought fade like mist in morning light. Let every unspoken worry be carried off in the river of his peace. You are not falling apart, you are falling into grace. And grace has never let anyone down. It always catches, it always holds, it always restores. The things that feel unresolved right now, they are not ignored by God. They are simply still being written. The author is not finished with your story. What looks like delay is often divine development. What feels like silence is often sacred, shaping. Trust that. Tonight, even your breathing is worship. Even your stillness is intercession. You don't need music or words to be with Him, just the quiet rhythm of your heartbeat, aligned with heaven's rhythm. This is where peace lives. This is where faith breathes free. You are not forsaken. You are not overlooked. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be, in the center of divine attention. You are the beloved of the Lord, and He will not stop until your story reflects His glory in full. So let sleep come now, not as escape, but as encounter. Let it be a holy descent into His presence. May your dreams be flooded with light. May your rest be deeper than weariness. And may your spirit awaken tomorrow with a new song, planted tonight in the soil of surrender. If tears come, let them fall into God's hands. If joy rises, let it overflow into tomorrow. If all you feel is stillness, then rest in the stillness. God is here. That's all that matters. And where He is, nothing is wasted. Not time, not pain, not even silence. You've made space for the sacred tonight, and heaven rejoices in that. You've honored the Lord not just in words but in your willingness to pause, to turn toward Him, to let go, to trust again. And that trust is a door He always walks through. Let peace be your pillow and faith your blanket. Let the promises of God be the rhythm that carries you into rest. May angels stand guard at your windows. May your home be filled with presence. And may your heart awaken in the morning fully refreshed, fully held. You are loved, not just tonight, but forever. And in this final breath before sleep, you are not alone. The Lord is near, the Lord is kind, and the Lord is with you, now and always.